After checkout, we got a taxi. So here it's being used as a noun. After that process, after checkout. The checkout is also the name of a process. So don't be confused. If someone says, where is checkout? They're talking about the place where you pay for things. And if someone says after checkout, we're talking about the name of the process of checking out. We're going to spend a bit of time talking about phrasal verbs that we can use for travel. Phrasal verbs we can use for all kinds of things. But we're going to look at two specifically, and that might not sound like a lot, but there are a lot of nuances here. So actually exploring two will take some time and take some work. We're going to talk about check in and check out. And if you think you know that, hold on, check yourself, because it might be a little more complicated than you think. Now, for check-in specifically, I want you to be aware of what it generally means and the form that you'll see it in. You'll see, for example, check in like this, and check in with a hyphen. And that's interesting, but they're used in two different ways usually. This is when you're doing that thing. And what is that thing that you're doing? You're usually letting someone know that you're there. It's kind of like register, or to formally say, hey, I've arrived. And we may do this when we're traveling. We may do this on a tour. We may do this at the airport. We may do this at a hotel when we arrive, to check in at the hotel, to check in at the airport, and maybe when we start a tour, everyone has to check in at the beginning. Now, this can be used far beyond travel, of course, but we're keeping it around travel for now. Now, the other way that you see this is check in, and you notice here a hyphen. And the hyphen is there when this is used either as an adjective or even as a noun. Sometimes this is used as a noun. More often it's used as an adjective. So if you see something after this that's a noun, for example, counter. At the airport might be a counter. Or if you're at the airport, now we don't need to always go up to the person to get our boarding passes when we fly somewhere. We might go to the kiosk, which is the automated little thing where we scan the passport and get the boarding passes and check the bag tag. The bag tags, get the boarding passes and the bag tags, right? So that's the kiosk. Well, what's the adjective that goes in front of that? How about a check-in kiosk? A check-in kiosk, a check-in counter. So if it's used as an adjective in this way, we can say, or rather write it with a hyphen. Use it as an adjective. And again, it can be used as a noun as well, but not as often. So let's look at a few examples here. And we're going to talk about checkout as well. We have to really understand how this works, and the only way to do that is to see some examples. Okay. We don't need to check in at the counter. We don't need to check in, there's the process, at the counter, because maybe there's a kiosk. We learned that. But this can also be used as an ing. We're doing this. You would use it as an ing when you're in the middle of the process. After checking in, after doing that, right? After completing that ongoing action, go to security. Now, we could say, if we're doing it now, what are you doing? Someone calls me. We are checking in. I'm not even going to write the whole thing. We're checking in right now. Oh, okay. For your flight or anything that you're checking in for. But this is the instruction. So this one is kind of being used as a gerund. And a gerund is using an ing as a noun. It could be replaced by that. After that, go to security. So this is an instruction. after doing that, but we consider it as an activity, so it's the gerund form, which essentially is being used as a noun. But same thing, checking in. Could we possibly check in early? There would be maybe at a hotel. You get to the hotel, it's 1 p.m. The check in time is 3 p.m. Oh, that's a little late. I'm exhausted after my 7-hour flight. I just want to check into my room, take a shower, and take a nap, right? Could we possibly check in early? This would be the request that you make. This is what you want to do. So the check-in is not just going to the front desk at the hotel. It's the actual official process where they get your passport and get your information and take your credit card and maybe a deposit and give you your room keys. It's not just walking up to the front desk. It's a formal process at the hotel. So check-in has a general meaning, which just means, hey, I'm here, or hey, I'm registering, but it also has this formal meaning of this process that you have to go through in order to get something, in order to do something. At the airport, you get your boarding passes, you check your bags. At the hotel front desk, you get your keys, right? Now, this is different than saying to check in our bags or to check our bags in. Let's put that aside. This is the main meaning of check-in that I want to explore associated with travel. The line at the check-in counter is too long. Notice here that check-in is in front of the word counter, and that means it is being used as an adjective, okay? After check-in, okay, after what? So after this, if we wanted to replace it, we would replace it with this or that, and that, T-H-A-T, and that means we can say this is a noun. After noun, let's unpack our bags and take a nap. Okay, so sometimes you'll see it used like that. Most of the time, it's either going to be used separately like this without the hyphen as the activity, or together with the hyphen used as an adjective. Okay, so now that we understand check in, I think pretty well, I want to take a look at check out. Now you might say, okay, well, isn't it probably exactly the same? And I would say it is probably not exactly the same. We have an important difference. We could combine checking in with the hyphen to make it an adjective. When we do that with checkout, it doesn't use the adjective. Instead, we make it one word, checkout. And this may refer to a process, but it may refer to a location. And it may also be used as an adjective, but it's spelled like this without the hyphen. So there we might say, the checkout. Maybe we're at a supermarket. At the supermarket, you want to know where you can go and pay. Well, the name of that place is often checkout, the checkout. You could say that that's also the register, but it's typically called checkout as one word. It is the place you go to pay, right? If you're doing that thing, though, what are you doing? Well, I'm checking out. I'm scanning my groceries and I'm paying for stuff. And we'll look at a few examples of that and a couple of variations. But you could also say the checkout line, and there then checkout becomes an adjective and line is the noun. And this process is usually the opposite of check-in. So when you're at the hotel and you're leaving the hotel, you have to hand in your key cards and make sure there are no charges on the room, and apologize for destroying the light fixtures and the TV with a golf club, and whatever you have to do at checkout, right? And then you leave, again, saying, I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I can't control my temper. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Just put it on my card. So the opposite, essentially, usually. Now, the best thing to do, I think, is look at a few examples. So let's take a look at some common usage examples for checkout. Now, I want to give you examples that also don't have to do with travel, just so you know how this is used, because it has a few different meanings in its usage. Check out these package deals. Okay, well, this is not the opposite of checking in, right? That's right. Check something out. is a very common phrasal verb used to mean look at this, see this, right? If you have a pain in your ear, I'm going to go to the doctor and check it out. Check it out. Maybe you should go get it checked out. Get it checked out. So there's something that concerns you. There's an issue, there's a problem, and you want to go and see if everything's okay. If there's an issue or a problem and you want to go somewhere to see if it's okay or not, or what the problem is, you will go check it out. But also, if you're curious about something, somebody has recommended something to you, someone has said, this is great, try this, you would also check that out, right? There's this really cool neighborhood 5 miles down the road. You've got to check it out. You have to go see it. There's nothing wrong. I just think it's interesting. So check out these package deals. Maybe I'm preparing for a trip. I'm looking, and these package deals, the prices are great. The flights are discounted. It's all inclusive. It includes so many things. It looks super fun. Package deals for travel, usually things that are all bundled together, including the flight and maybe the hotels and some activities that you might do. So there I'm requesting that someone come over here and look at this, right? Maybe look at the prices. We're still checking out the area. Now this may be that you're looking around a new neighborhood. Maybe you're on a trip. You're in a new neighborhood because you're on a trip. You're in an area near your hotel, and you want to see the restaurants and the cafes and the museums and all of that stuff. So we're checking it out. We're still checking out the neighborhood. Maybe the first 2 days of your trip you spend just checking out the area or the place near your accommodation, near your hotel. Okay, that's fine. Or maybe you've moved to a new place and you haven't explored everything, and someone says to you, how's it going at the new place you moved to? Yeah, it's great. We're still checking out the area. Maybe that means within a 30-mile radius, you're still exploring the towns nearby. Okay, that's fine. Queens is cool. You should check it out. That's the similar one to this. It's just recommending that someone see something or explore something or look at something. So this is one meaning, and it can be used pretty broadly, right? Also in this, there's something wrong sense. But what about checking out of the hotel or even a supermarket? I almost always use the self-checkout if I can. You can have the there or not. So self-checkout would be a variation of this. Notice that this is one word. It's being used here as a noun. If it were just this, I always use self-checkout. It's a kind of combined noun with self and checkout, meaning I scan the items by myself and I don't have to deal with a person, right? But if I said, where is the checkout? That means I'm looking for the place to go to pay. There is a fee for checking out late. Now, what is this? Checking out is the process of leaving the hotel and paying for anything that you need to pay for, you haven't paid for yet, and usually handing in your room keys, right? Well, if there's a fee for checking out late, then there's an official process of checking out, which is doing that. And usually that's 11 a.m. Sometimes it's 10, which I think is too early. Sometimes it's noon, which is, I think, much better. So if you check out at 1 and the checkout time is noon, you say, what time is checkout? What's the checkout time tomorrow? It's 12. Oh, okay, great. Then you have until 12 to go downstairs to the lobby to hand your keys in. But if you're not ready until 1, sometimes you have to pay extra, right? They're not happy about that. Or they'll knock on the door until you leave. Hey, it's time to check out. It's checkout time. Time to check out. After checkout, we got a taxi. So here it's being used as a noun. After that process, after checkout. The checkout is also the name of a process. So don't be confused. If someone says, where is checkout? They're talking about the place where you pay for things. And if someone says after checkout, we're talking about the name of the process of checking out. That's what it's called. Okay? So I hope that's clear. The phrasal verbs check in and check out are used quite often in travel situations and beyond. The best thing to do is practice your own examples so that you can get a really good sense for how to use these.